Hey, good morning, everyone. Adam and Will from Market Chameleon. How are my chameleons doing out there today, man?
We're good, sir.
Chameleons
Wow.
reporting for business.
Welcome to the wonderful options report, chameleons.
All right, who's ready
Worst
to trade
worst
some
day of the
options
week.
today, man?
Worst day of the week.
Oh,
Hate
here we go.
Fridays.
You got to take
Hate them.
advantage of it, man. You got to kill it today, man. Today, let's go all in. All in, dude. All the chips. Push them in, brother. What are we going to push them in on today?
Are you the hunter or the hunted? Sometimes I feel like I'm more game than I am a big beast hunter.
We like to fancy ourselves hunters, but that does not always work that way.
It
So,
doesn't. It really is interesting.
So, any of you, if you missed the disclaimer, there it is. Everybody be careful out there. These are just ideas. You got to dive deep and figure out your own trading strategies and take your own risks. And it is risky out there, man. I'm getting killed by
Yeah,
Facebook stock. I know we're on Facebook right now. Facebook doesn't like talking about Facebook, but we're going to talk about Facebook. We're going to talk about it,
love
man.
love Facebook.
Facebook. I'm going to say Facebook 100 times
All right.
so I get completely banned from Facebook, man. That's what I love. Let's ban
Let
me.
me say we actually, and since we're there, we might as well start with that. Since it was one of the stocks I was going to talk about because
Whoa, why's your screen all
bec-
messed up there, bro? What'd you do with your screen, man? Make it full screen, dude.
it is full screen. We're not seeing full screen.
No, you're not sharing your screen, man. You got us on like you got it some whacked out. You see how?
All right,
Yeah.
just I'm sharing screen. I'm going to this screen. Is it full screen now or not?
Not really, dude.
All right.
You know what it is? Yeah, man. I love this, dude. You know what this
It's
is?
probably your split screen. Let's see if Big Brother can get his head in the
Let's
box.
let's figure out if
Has changed the whole dynamic.
if why not just make it messed up just today? Why not? It's one of those days. Here we go, man. Poppy's fixing it. There we go, dude. How lucky are
Well,
you that you have a brother who can actually fix tech on the fly, dude? On the fly. I just
well,
literally just fixed it on the fly, man. Boom.
that's awesome.
As much.
Chameleons. This may seem like something that's done in our backyard, but there really is a lot that goes into this. Shockingly so, and it wouldn't come to you every day if the guy in Costa Rica with a nice clean shaved head every day because he's
Oh,
manscaped like a maniac uh, wasn't taking care of this.
oh,
Nice job, bro. Nice
oh,
job.
man. Like, well, my wife says, there's that song, was it Wulan or whatever with that, where the big dude who's played by The Rock says, "You're welcome, you're welcome." I don't know if your kids ever played that one. Well, Molly says that's my theme song. She says my ego couldn't get any better, man, any bigger. You're
Any
welcome, baby.
bigger. So, Facebook vol exploded again yesterday,
Oh man.
based on an article, obviously, that came out this morning about Mr. Zuckerberg and the leadership there, Sheryl Sandberg's performance during the election. So, Facebook is back in the news. Love, I love Facebook. It's becoming a inexpensive play in the tech space at some point. But in the meantime, it's going to stay in the news because you put the you know you start throwing meat into a group of tigers and they start just chomping on it,
Chop
and
it up,
that's where
man.
Facebook is right now. They love, their commentary today was about WhatsApp and the fact that WhatsApp is leading to, and I love this,
Yeah.
WhatsApp somehow uh, taking people in third world countries and allowing them or letting them attack other people with fake news. I mean, it's not that human beings
Oh,
just have
humans are
some
humans,
issues
dude.
that we still have to work out as a species.
It's
They're
Facebook's
blaming
fault.
they're they're blaming WhatsApp, which probably, and listen, I'm not like you a great technocrat and user of technology in the same way you are. But I mean, you've got to think WhatsApp has changed the third world in their ability to communicate with
Absolutely,
families,
dude.
to educate. I mean, to say because some rogue players say in India that there's a bandit in the area and people, are able to
Freak out.
communicate
Yeah.
and then freak out.
Yeah.
Blaming it on WhatsApp just seems
Dude, you gotta
irresponsible
take
by
you
the.
got you are absolutely. I'm 100% with you. You're absolutely right. I mean, dude, I live in you know not America, right? So I'm out of America. I recognize that WhatsApp is used ubiquitously. Like every single person in this country uses WhatsApp, right? Um, but everybody in this country uses Waze too, right? If you have a car, you use Waze, right? So Google has aspect. There are things that everybody uses. But dude, to say, I mean, I get fake news all the time. I get ones, a kid's been stolen. Dude, no kid's been stolen. People are just using it for whatever their own kind of make them feel good, make them feel like a big person, whatever it is, you know. But you got to take this with you learn, and as humans, we have to learn. We have to take this stuff with a grain of salt, man. You have
Yeah,
to verify, dude. You got to
and
verify.
listen, it's the structure of society, right? Some guy gets an Amber Alert for a silver Toyota Corolla, and people see it. They're not
Right.
pulling him to the side of the road and running him over with cars.
Exactly, man.
I mean, they're
Exactly,
calling the
dude.
police. They'll follow him. I mean,
Yeah, dude. It's like
unfortunately, the structure of these other societies is the flaw. And I
yeah.
mean, listen, tech may have its problems, no doubt. And well,
Well, what
anyways,
I'm
the short
seeing, like
term.
you mentioned, the Amber Alerts. That's kind of interesting because I'm seeing on the news and stuff, and I've just read some stuff about that. And like 80% of Amber Alerts now, or 90, it's like almost all Amber Alerts are not like a kid getting actually just swiped, like picked up at the grocery store. Somebody grabbed a kid. That like never happens anymore. All it is like one spouse, claiming the other spouse, took the kid. For reasons of like of basically they're battling because they're getting divorced, like that sort of stuff. So even the best systems in the best countries get manipulated and used by people. That's the way it works, man.
Yeah.
But so well, Facebook's in the middle of it, right? And they're gonna have to deal with it. So are they saying Sandberg's doing a bad job of handling this kind of firestorm?
Well, I mean, sadly, it digs into their manipulation of well, manipulation. That's probably not the correct term, but they pay a lot for lobbyists in D.C.
Oh,
and they
absolutely.
tried to circumvent the issues. I mean, one thing I found almost amazing because, and maybe this is the stability of the stock and why I'm going to show you the trade I was looking at, kind of taking advantage of this volatility and selling puts and calls, and because I think, I mean, the stock's down. It's not this major move this morning. It was down a little yesterday. Uh, I don't know how much more you can take out of this stock because it's has such a place in the world's society, and they own. I mean, we just mentioned they own WhatsApp,
Yep.
they own this
Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Instagramical.
Instagramical. I'm not sure what it is. My kids use it though.
I love Instagram. I don't know if anyone's looked, but I do occasionally show my muscles off when I'm working out at the gym and when I'm getting a fruit bowl at the local.
What that is a dude who does not understand the current state of the world, man. That is what dude. Just because you don't understand it doesn't make it real, man. It is real, man.
Oh, I
It is
completely
real,
know it's real.
dude.
I completely know. I'm a Snapchat guy. I like my stuff
By the way,
disappearing.
check out our Snapchat at MarketChameleon. I'm ready to go snap, man.
It
When you're
disappears instantly.
when you're ready to do it, man, we're in. It's my super stock pick of the day here on Snapchat. I mean, it could be huge, man.
Yeah, it could. It could be super huge. Can
Do
we
you
put
guys hear the
chameleon faces
crickets?
on that?
Do you guys hear the crickets? I had to work on my brother for 2 years to do a show like this. So what do you think the odds are of us hitting Snapchat? I don't know, man. Slim.
They say YouTubers burn out after the average life is 30 days.
Yep.
So we've gone
We've gone
past
through it, dude.
we've
Absolutely.
gone through it. And then at 8 years, you've either made it or you've
You've
Gone back to work at well, at least jobs are playing more today.
Hey,
So
we got it. We do have a question. I wanted to get to it. Zaid, who's on chatting right now, is asking a question. You might not be able to answer this because this may be more in Dimitri's lane. But he's asking, why do you use IV PCT, which I guess is percentage rank, and not IV rank on the website?
it's a choice. It's what we've used for the test of time, what we've used since the beginning. But again, it's something we've found is more reflective of what's going on with the IV and how we view the IV. So it's basically been our choice to look at IV the way we do.
Awesome.
Different people look at the structure of the different things, IV, the skew in different ways. This is just how, I mean, and they're all, based
They all have validity and different
on the,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, you show too much, it could be confusing, but does he have an example of where he likes to use the percent basically?
Hey, Zaid, come back with an example, and Will can tackle it for you.
But again, one thing, if he wants to know how the actual structure works and how we set it up, he can, right on the site, there's a little chat button down at the bottom. Chat. You could chat with one of the founders, Dimitri. It's that's right. You're right up his math alley, and you could also do a demo of the different things. And maybe the way he likes to see the percent is something we could use, in places he'd like to see it.
Yep.
If he could let us know. I mean, it's not something we can't put in. But
nice.
Anyways, we're talking about the skew and the volatility. We had a spike in the 25 delta puts versus the calls yesterday. Obviously, some people knew this article was going to come back. Facebook negativity was going to come back into the marketplace. I just looked at the structure to trade around the market. I looked at selling the 35 puts and the 45 calls, thinking we'd maybe get a drift lower over the next month or so. And it takes in a credit of 352. Your downside risk is $1.49 on the downside, and probably $1.49 on the upside. It was something I was looking at, thinking it's going to trade in this range. Basically, just on the fact that the news is coming out, I think the moves are going to get less and less since the stock has already been severely beaten up. I would also start, and we've talked about this previously. If you have any interest in getting long and using the options to your, as a way to use, take advantage of the leverage, you could look at, the risk reversal. I was looking at it this morning just to see kind of what popped up. And I was thinking about shorting, something closer to at the money. And I'm not saying I would do this today, but at some, right now the stock's like a 20 PE. I mean, this stock, you're investing in a broad spectrum of technology companies, right? Growth companies, yet it's being priced like a, just a, run-of-the-mill S&P company, 500 company. So at some point, it's going to, and again, this is just my opinion.
In your opinion, for whatever it's worth.
Don't cash the check. I think at some point it's going to pay to own this stock. So you could go to that something close. So I'd short the 40, let's say the 35 put, long something below it. We'll just leave it at the 30 and then get long a call. We'll just do a 160 call. Let's reload that, see how it looks. So this we'd still have to pay. But if you play around with this, you can work out a credit and decide where you want to own the stock. I mean, there are all sorts of things you can do to play around with the strategy payout, to look for places to try to get long Facebook and put on a credit. I mean, we can just move that that put further down.
Yep.
Or move this further closer to the money. That gives us a big credit where we'd have to own the stock, around 136, 140. So, these are things you can play around with. You can get the put closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Reload that, you lose, $17 would be painful, and you own the stock. So just take a look, do some due diligence in Facebook and pick your spots. I did look, if you were this is, if you wanted to get short with a put spread or a call spread, there are, quite a few to look at with cushion to the upside. I don't think Facebook's going to be ripping to the upside anytime soon. So,
which is funny. I actually go the opposite way on you there. And full disclosure, I own Facebook. But I just look at it as, stuff goes bearish, and, they'll pump up the news, and it gets that's terrible. It's the worst company in the world, that sort of stuff. But dude, this company is embedded deeply in people's lives. And it is very difficult to attack a moat that is that deep. And, I disagree. I just think it can go violently up.
Based on buyers entering the marketplace.
Based on just people like, well, Facebook's low, and then it just shoots, and then it compounds where people are like, oh no, I should have bought it, and then they get in and they roll in, and then all of a sudden, Facebook's at 200, 215, that sort of stuff.
It is. If you look at the option order flow, it is increasingly bullishness. So people are taking shots with options. This is the mom and pop investor. This $145, $150 price tag per share is, something they look at right away, makes it hard to pull the trigger. But you're right. It's like a big fund could come in and say, it's time to own Facebook.
Yep.
No matter, how much more negative news can come out of this stock. The fact that they've taken 1.6 billion fake accounts off their books.
Yeah.
And the stocks, it's been down, but it's they used to get rewarded when they hit 1 billion users. It was like, balloons went up, the stock went up, 10%. They lose 1.6 billion in fake accounts, and as we know, well, I don't know if people know, but a lot of these social entities, a lot of the accounts are set up by marketers, to
I can't believe that, man. Are you serious?
I am. So
all we've talked about in the news for the last year or two is the Russians and the fake accounts.
How many users does Facebook have, you think?
Oh, it's billions. Isn't it like 2 billion people or something? I don't know.
Dude, they just eliminated 1.6 billion. You just said they're 2 billion. If that was the case, they only have 400 million users now.
No. I think they had 3 billion, and they've pulled back to 2 billion.
But that's, it's funny.
What does it matter, dude? The answer is everybody's using it, man. That's just it. It doesn't matter. It's everybody, right?
Well, it's not everybody, because I think China's population is, there's way more than well, whatever. We'll leave it there.
Let's just say this: a lot of people are using it. A lot of
for sure. But it seems to me like half when you suck to me, no one knew that half Facebook users were fake.
Yep.
And you've sucked out half the accounts.
Sure.
It seems, well, it could be construed two ways, right? People already knew that was the case, that half the population of Facebook was fake.
Right.
Or that people really don't care. It's like the stock has gotten so cheap, like this is the move. So, these are all debates. You're right. So someone says, the storm is now weathered and Facebook can start earning money. Other people would say, this is the debate that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that Facebook, probably only to get to where they were, they probably only employed a couple thousand people. Now they're going to have a couple 100,000 because they're going to have to monitor everything.
Right.
We talked about this earlier in the week that, just to try to get contact with someone who can type or call or communicate
it's impossible.
is virtually impossible.
Yep.
So you can imagine that this, that PE may so this is
Getting overwhelmed.
this is the debate that's going on. And
actually, that's one interesting thing. We had a woman we grew up with, Lindsay Adaria. Well, I don't know if you remember her, but she's kind of famous photographer, and I follow her on Instagram and friends on Facebook, so on and so forth. And I saw a message from her, "Hey, my Instagram's account's been hacked," and obviously she's hundreds of thousands of followers, and she's like, "Does anybody know anybody at Instagram that I can get in touch with?" So obviously, I mean, this is like last, desperate hope. Like, she'd obviously reached out, to try and get somebody to help her. And what she'd ended up doing was just posting on Facebook to be like, "Does anybody know somebody at Instagram who could give me my account back?" And this is basically a famous person, right? Which is interesting, right?
That's someone who could call the person who runs the technology at the Times and be like, "Listen, how do I no one knows." It's like she has access to a lot of people.
Let's just say more than the normal person, right? She's got more access than Will.
Hey, and listen, no Russian operative or someone who just wants to profiteer from having access to an account like that is looking at an Instagram account with a family group chat or something.
Exactly. Yep.
They're looking for people with followers so they can do stuff that was being allowed when you could just open fake accounts and there was zero monitoring going on or any sort of algorithms. And believe me, fake accounts are still being opened every second.
Oh yeah.
They're just figuring out how to circumvent the algos that are selecting them. But let's get on to something more basic around the chameleon. Can we do that?
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
I'm done with my Facebook commentary, which I love Facebook and Zuckerberg, by the way. Probably the greatest, he or our favorite whiskey and weed. I mean, they are just Bezos. I mean, thank God for him.
A couple great entrepreneurs. Yep, absolutely.
Yep. So I wanted to look at, and we've done this previously, but I always love seeing it. There were 3 reports of unusual activity that showed up with significant moves afterwards. They were all. This is Williams-Sonoma. They had earnings. The event showed up in the posts previously yesterday. It was about 1:15 that there was some unusual put volume with this Williams-Sonoma. If you looked at that alert, you would notice that also on the 14th, on the 9th, there was a lot of put activity leading up into this earnings. There was another event. Well, actually, there were Nordstrom, another retailer, again, significant put activity. And then there was another, it was 3 retailers.
So it's interesting. Coming into Christmas season, the retailers people are starting to take negative looks at retailers. This is interesting, right?
It is. And also, it's interesting that this is, everyone should be aware of the stocks they're interested in and what's being communicated to them in the posts. So take advantage of that. But I was like, one way I wanted to show people how to take advantage of that during the day, and I wanted to show you too, so you could really take advantage of it, was if you go to the high option volume trading during the day. I searched by the earnings. So it was everything with the earnings yesterday, and you can see they popped up here.
Yep.
So, it's an easy way to screen and see, wow, what's going on today with the stocks that have either an earnings or an event, to see if there's anything that's being reported. And sure enough, Shoe Carnival, all the ones I just showed you, Shoe Carnival, Williams-Sonoma. Yeah.
JCPenney, Dillard's.
Yep. It was a it's right at the end of the earnings season. Actually, it escaped me, I must say. But so something I'm going to be looking at more with more intent.
I mean, do you
again,
think that's just people saying, "Well, this Christmas season isn't going to be as good as
no,
people are expecting"?
Is the events happened. I mean, this was this is based on the last quarter, right? So this was people betting that either the earnings or the market in general would not reward these stocks, or their commentary. Yep. And again, it could be all of the above. Sure. The commentary going forward, because usually they'll have a conference call and give their guidance. So the guidance could all be negative going into the next quarter, based on what you're just saying, because they're going in. You're right. They're going into their most important quarter, because most retailers, Black Friday through the new year, is where they make all the money in the year. Yep. To date, they've just paid the bills. Yeah. So any profit is coming the last quarter. Just shocking to think about. That you're not making money till Thanksgiving. But that's the amazing thing. I mean, business. Anyone who says business isn't tough has never run a business. Margins are thin for everyone. So but this option volume spike report pulled right from here. Search by earnings, search by events, and see if there's any unusual option activity during the day that you want to dig deeper into, and see if it's something that may interest you from a trade perspective.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome. Boom.
Are we taking Thanksgiving week off? I forgot.
What are you talking? We don't take weeks off, dude. Are you kidding me?
Now that we're podcasting, YouTuber, Instagramming, muscle shirt guys.
Every day, bro. It's every day, bro.
Can you give the Chameleon community your Instagram account so they can all go see you in your muscle shirt on the beach?
At Adam A. McBride on Instagram. You can check out my. It's going to be a suite of podcasts soon, right? We have. Just to let everybody know, we have a new podcast. We're putting out the live show daily as a podcast. So about, 20 minutes after the show airs live on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, it pops in as a podcast. So you can see us as a pod. How awesome is that, man? So those people who can't watch video, who are listening on their way to work, boom, live every day. So no, can you take a week off? No, you may not take a week off, dude. How does that sound?
All right, I'll be podcasting from unique backdrops for a week.
Dude, I think those are the best shows when we're on the road and we have technical difficulties. That's the best.
You may catch me in a snowy field.
Oh,
on my phone.
I love making everybody jealous. That's the best, man.
You'll have to operate the Chameleon. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Remember, click down below. You can subscribe, like us, all the rest.
I'm clicking down below right now, sending my love.
Get the pop-up on your phone when we're live. Here's live every morning. As I said, we have the podcast. It'll be available. It's available in a couple locations right now. If you're on Spotify, you can catch us right now on Spotify. But it'll be on Apple and so on and so forth soon enough. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Later.
Bye.